Well, I thought it was too good to be true what Chudi had planned, but so did a lot of people with the communities that my other friends have formed. At the beginning, people thought they were crazy. It's nice to introduce, at this point, they're not guests on this show anymore because they've been here more than once, right? And in fact, with one of them, we are starting another show very soon, and we'll talk about that as we go along. I have Saudat of Easy Shop, Easy Cook Services Limited with me. Thank you for being here. I remember the first time you almost froze and said, I don't want to do TV. You know, but it's changed now, has it?
Kind of.
The butterflies still come.
Yeah, they've aligned.
They've aligned. And then, of course, I have Yetunde Williams, my other friend that's created a community of women. You've tried, though, in how many years? You have 60,000 women on your community. Lagos Moms.
Lagos Moms.
Thank you for joining me on this.
Thank you.
I mean, did you find Chudi's... I mean, when I mentioned this to both of you and said, let's talk about the viability or otherwise of it, I was thinking more about creating services for women who have to go out to work. So for that purpose, I would like to hear, for example, what was your experience in setting up Lagos Moms, if you recall? You used to work...
Yeah, so when I set up Lagos Moms, I was working all throughout. The reason I set it up was I call myself a Google warrior, and I was always trying to figure out how to do something better, especially when it came to parenting. And what I found out at the time was there was nothing... You had just one child at that time? At the time, I had one child. And I found out that there was really nothing for mothers in Nigeria. Something that everything I would find was sending me to babycenter.co.uk. There was nothing for us locally. And that was where the idea of Lagos Mom started. And I launched it when I was a stay-at-home mom with my second child before I went back to work.
So you still went back to work?
I've been working full-time until maybe the last year and a half.
So how would you describe the typical person on your platform? Because that's the question. Today, women are working in one thing or the other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So the environment, yeah.
So what we found is a lot of women are working. You're either in a 9-to-5 or you're hustling.
Or
you're hustling.
Hustling, now, that's exactly what you say.
So either way, you're either at a desk or you're doing it from home. So we have a lot of mompreneurs, which I found from our database. A lot of women are working on the side, in addition to a 9-to-5. So things are actually much more stressful than they used to be. Someone is working, but she still is doing beauty on the side. She's doing makeup. She's selling clothes. So everybody has not enough time at all. And so you have to rely on support system. And that's where the question comes, who is your support system? Is it your neighbor? Is it a domestic staff? Is it a friend? Who is that support system? Which is why something like what he's doing is fantastic.
So you are a community. Because I remember you also, I mean, she's also a computer person, just like you are. Computer is her background. And you decided to use the computer to help women be better at making sure they are cooking right. Tell me.
Okay. It started because I wanted to settle down. I wanted to change my job. One, as a website developer at that time. And I wanted to settle down, get married. And I was looking at the kind of challenges I was going to have. At the time, I just asked my sister then, I was like, are you having issues, you know? But for me, it was like, why am I even asking her if she's having an issue? Because I do all her shopping for her anyway. So how can she balance? And she was working in a bank. Then I also looked at myself, I'm going to settle down and get married and have kids. And I really don't want that hustling, let me quickly run to the market, let me quickly do this. And I asked myself, you're in tech. Why can't you just use your knowledge as a website developer to develop something? So I went online, Google, to find out, okay, is there anybody doing something like this? And if there is, how can I learn and how can I do that? And when I did go online, this was in 2001, there was nobody. So all I saw was websites abroad. So of course I mined. Then I started reading up on how I can do that. Mine was just to build the sites. Just to build the site and let people just come up. And I was doing a course then in AppTech. So I used it as my project in AppTech. So I won that project. So I was like, okay, super, let's go. Then I said, okay, let me just find out if women, because sometimes you think you have an idea, you think everybody has the same problem. They might not have the same problem like you. So I just said, okay, let me write, I came up with a questionnaire, one-page questionnaire, and I just looked at my target market, banks, all companies and all that. So I just went all around. I gave out the questionnaire and I asked them, how do you shop presently? Do you have a problem managing your home, balancing, your work and your home? And all the answers came out, they were very favorable. And I asked them, if I build a site and for you to shop, will you use the site? They said yes. Do you want us to cook for you? Most of them said yes. But the men said, shop for my wife, but don't cook for them.
That
was it. Shop for them, but don't cook for them. That was what the
so
what the
I guess
question
why you did
said.
easy cook, easy shop.
Easy
so
shop, easy cook. So that when you shop easily, you will cook easily. So we prep it. So that when you come back from work in the evening, you know how it is now. Husband and wife go to work 9 to 5. Husband will come back, cross-leg with a remote control. Wife will still enter the kitchen and do everything yourself. And the wife has hustled during lunch break to go to the market, quickly buy this thing. So what we try to do is to prep so that when you come back from work, we have reduced your cooking time. So you will not be upset with your guy that is watching TV because your own cooking time is now shorter.
So the point here is we've used technology to make life easier for the working woman. But one area I've not really looked at very clearly, it seems like, can we manage our help, the kind of help we get in terms of people who come to the house to help us through technology? Because I've heard of CCTV and all of that. You were telling me about somebody else who does something similar. Yeah. You know, so what, I mean, when you decided to do this, did you have it in mind that there are other people who are doing this? Is this managed?
Absolutely. There should never be a solution to one solution to everything. You will see that, you know, we have different scenarios here, different solutions, but we are leveraging the same technology to provide a community with service. So the more the merrier. People would have comparative advantages in different things. We don't do equipment. The CCTV is one good way, and it's a prevention mechanism. But our own is an information gateway. What we're saying is that whatever your experience is, share with the community.
How easy do you think that might be? Would you take a help and spend time trying to... What are the challenges that you think that might have?
So, you know, what it is I find that a lot of us hire the wrong way. And that's the truth.
That's the challenge that women have today.
That's a big challenge. Either you're hiring because you're stressed out, you need to get back to work, you just need somebody. So somebody brings somebody to your house. They look okay. You leave them at home with your child and you go to work. You might be better off having a child in a creche than leaving them at home with a staff that you cannot verify who they are. So that's number one. For me, I didn't even use CCTV because I thought if I can't trust the person in the house, it's not the film I will come and watch the footage later that's going to give me the sense of confidence. So I personally never hired without word of mouth. It would always come from somebody who knew somebody, who brought somebody. It's not perfect. But why I did that was because I found that...
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, many times I had an agent once and I asked him, how do you find people? I call them pimps, I'm sorry. But they literally just find anybody who walks into their shop. You want to work, what village are you from? Don't worry, she's my sister. And you take them to somebody's house.
So technology leveraging, putting it in our hands.
Now the power is coming to me to take the time to say, you know what, before I hire you, all of you could not have worked for expatriates. So all your old...
Do you have that happening? I hear it all the time. Where is the last person you worked for? They traveled. Yeah. Traveled to where?
I don't have their number again.
They don't have their number again. And like, so we have to depend on God to say, God, please, I hope I'm right. We just hit and miss. What do you think?
We depend on God in Nigeria for everything. Everything.
Is that, I mean, it's God.
You know, the thing is that a lot of people, a lot of women, they don't want to work when their children are young. They only work because of necessity. Some women would rather be housewives because that is the formative years.
Is that statistics?
That is the formative years of your children. Stay at home and look after you. You know, we are naturals. But the thing is that money, you have to pay rent, you want to support your husband, you want to do a number of things, so you need to hustle as well. Then again, appearances. You want people to look at you and go like, I'm MD, oh, I work. But your mind is at home. Your mind is at home. But we do these things. But the thing is that even women that know that, okay, this one has decided to be a housewife, they will still not even support you. They go like, why are you staying at home? How can you leave your career? How can you destroy your life because of a child? No, I'm just delaying my career. I did not say I'm not going to work forever. I just want to be a housewife for a few, you know. So they just go ahead and just get anybody. Just stay at home so that I can be at work, so that everybody will think I'm fine. But you are not even settled. So even if you sack this one for molesting your child or for doing anything, you still just bring any other person just to stay home. You know, before you get help, you need to know who you are getting help from and what that help is supposed to do for you.